So awk is really nice when you have some data that is delimited by something. Let's say I have this hello world, and then I want to grab, or I want to get the last word. Now how do I do this? Well, you can use different commands, but this is a very easy thing to do with awk. So with awk you can do print nf. So awk by default will split your input into different fields. So here we have hello, that's the first field, and then world, that's the second field. And the default delimiter is just blank characters. So in this case, white space, right? And nf is the number of fields. So here we have field 1 hello, field 2 world. So the total field in this line, or also called record in awk, is 2. So this nf will expand to 2 because there are 2 fields, and the $sign refers to the nth field. So nf becomes 2, so it becomes $2, and $2 is the second field, world, right? And of course you can do more things with awk. So let's say we have this we have this file, and in this file we have the book title. This is the book, the title abbreviation, and this is the book number. This is the chapter, verse number, and then the actual verse. So let's say I want to go to Matthew, or read Matthew 10 and up. How do we do that? Well, we can use grep, I guess, but grep will also grab the Matthew that occurs also in the verse, which we don't really want to do, right? So we want to grab Matthew on the first field, and then 10 as the verse or chapter number. So in the fourth field. So we can actually do that with awk. So tsv. So this is the basic structure of an awk program. So here you have a pattern, and then you have an action. So for each pattern that is matched, you are going to execute some action with the lines in which the pattern occurs. And this thing will be run on each line, right? Well, I guess if your separator for each record, which is, each line, I guess, is the new line character. So when we do something like echo hello world and an awk print, what this actually is we have an implicit pattern match here. It's like this. So it's gonna match every line, and then it's going to execute the action, which is print this second field. So if you don't have the pattern, it's implicit. And also if you don't have the action, let's say if one matches with this regex pattern, the print is now implicit, so it's going to print the whole line in which the pattern occurs. So like it's like a grep, I guess. So it's like this, and 0 just refers to the whole record, so the whole line. So we want the first field to match Matthew, so we can do this. And this you can use regex and stuff. If you use the tilde, if you want a perfect match, I think it's equals, but you can use the manual. And then we want, what else? The chapter number. So that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth field. So what we can do is and this is like C. So you have the and, you have or. You can look at the manual for this, but we can combine patterns. So if you want to match this or that, you can use or, but the fourth field, and then we want Matthew 10 and up, right? And then if we do that, oh wait, let's use the file tsv, pipe that into les. Now it's going to print Matthew chapter 10 and up until the end of Matthew. But this is kind of messy, right? We don't really want all of this information. We only really want the verse and maybe the verse number. So we can actually specify which field we want to print. So the verse is the sixth field, or I guess NF, the last field. And to separate them, you can use a comma. There are many formats to print, but look at the manual. But verse is the fifth one, the verse number. So if we do this, oh yeah, we need to specify that we are using tabs, and yeah, and we have this, which is nice. But what if I want to print Matthew at the start? Because why not? So there is also something called begin, and what you put in begin is going to be executed before the main program. And there's also end, which is just the reverse of that. So like we can print Matthew, and you need double quotes. I don't know if single quotes work. I don't think so. But double quotes for literal strings, and if you don't double quote it, it's going to count as a variable, which is, we haven't initialized Matthew to anything. And we have that, and you can do a lot of stuff with this. There's if, for, while, and stuff. But I think really the main advantage is the fields and the pattern matching. And you can even do math here, right? You can I don't know, print 5 times 10 or something. Oh, and there's also nr, which is nf is number of fields, nr is number of records, which is like the number of lines. Again, you can change the new line character to something as the record separator, but it's new line by default. So what we can do is, for example, rc print nr. So what this will do is it's going to print the current line number. So for every line in .cshrc, it's gonna print all the line numbers. But you can of course combine this with a pattern or something. So for example, for every line in which a hashtag occurs, it's going to print the line number. And you can do lots of stuff with this.